You're listening to Alabama Tradition with Ryan Fowler and Martin Houston on Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
27 SEC titles, 131 first-team All-Americans, 70 postseason appearances, 39 postseason victories. This is Alabama football. And this is Alabama Tradition with Martin Houston and Ryan Fowler on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
So we welcome you into another Alabama Tradition, the past, present, future, the Alabama Crimson Tide. As we told you a few weeks ago, Martin Houston coaching his son. So it's going to be me for a few weeks as we'll get through the high school football season. We'll talk more Alabama Crimson Tide football. Alabama's on the practice field this afternoon getting some text messages. We'll try to update you as we'll talk more Alabama football. Dylan Moses giving us updates. We have not even really been able to work to our Nick Saban audio, but we're going to get to that here in this hour. Roman Harper earlier. John Parker Wilson, proudly presented by Tuscaloosa Toyota. A lot of fun to be able to visit with him. We'll start this program with phone calls. 20% capacity, no tailgating inside Bryant-Denny Stadium or on the campus of the University of Alabama. It'll be a very unique atmosphere nonetheless. The ticket packages kind of throws your head off a little bit. We've talked about the schedule. Alabama's got a very manageable schedule with Missouri and Columbia, Texas A&M here, Ole Miss on the road, Georgia here, Tennessee on the road, Mississippi State here, bye week. Then you come back, you play LSU in Baton Rouge, Kentucky here, Auburn here, and Fayetteville on the road. No back-to-back road games and a chance for Alabama to really run the table undefeated. Let's talk about it. Tommy Romulus. Tommy, good afternoon, man. You're in the game.
Hey, Ron, how are you today?
I'm good, but if I was a season ticket holder, I wouldn't be as good.
Well, I'm not. So I'm not happy.
Did you read this?
No, my brother tried to go out there. They met him at the front door of the Coliseum saying, you can't go in the office.
Ooh.
He said, you got to make an appointment and go in the office. That's how they. And if things are crashing, I got a question. I want somebody to explain to me. If we're going to have apps now to get our ticket, can the University of Alabama, without a doubt, guarantee you that app won't get hacked?
I mean, I don't guess there's...
can't promise you that.
Well,
how the University of Alabama going to promise that some little hacked off person want to play in the mother's basement with a computer and hack the University of Alabama's system like they have done DCH and all these other places, Mercedes. Can the university guarantee, it's going to be safety, your ticket's not going to get stolen, you're not going to lose them no more? Can the university, can Greg Burns guarantee you that?
Well, no, I don't think there is any guarantee with that.
Okay. Why are they sitting there telling you this BS? I'm not happy. I'm going to tell everybody, you know what? I told my brother 15 minutes ago, opt out 21. He said, what you going to do? I said, I'm opt out for good. Next year, invite who you want to go. I am not giving the university a dime anymore. Goodbye to the University of Alabama. I was going to try and make it call every day for a week. I didn't want to get on your bad side, but guess what? I think I'm going to go to the beach in the month of October and get me a condo and just enjoy the Florida and Alabama coast. I'm not worried about it. If the fans had any sense, they should opt out for this year and next year. Make the university cry and beg and all these other schools beg for you to come back. Because they've taken advantage of this COVID situation. And it's not right. I haven't seen nobody solve no problem. All they can do is blame somebody else and do all this crap. And it's getting to be aggravation. It used to be enjoyable to go to a football game. Now it's getting to be a pain in the keister. I mean, it's just like, you got to have this, you got to have that, you got to wear this. I mean, it's just, it's a pain. And it's driving me away. I guess it's the greatest thing ever happened to me that I tore my knee up October 23rd. I've learned, no, I don't have to attend every game.
Well, and see, this is where my concern would be if you're an athletic director, learning that you can live without it, learning that you can watch the 65-inch LED television. Can you get those guys back next year? And will the demand be the same?
Well, it's not football, it's the other sport. When you say you support the University of Alabama, I support them. Football, women basketball, volleyball. I watch all the sport because I am from Tuscaloosa. And these other sports, I don't want to use the word minor because I'm going to get ripped up. I got dogged because Sunday I talked about something. And they're not bringing the money in, but the local people in Tuscaloosa, Fallon County, go watch volleyball or university at some come or gymnastics or whatever that thing. Football is worldwide. You might get people coming to watch men basketball out of state, but softball is getting to be nationwide. But you don't have people coming all the way from Texas or Oklahoma to watch softball unless the team is. The local people in the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham area support the other sports. And they are going to just be wiped out. They have, like I said, to tell somebody, they have spring football. You kids softball, baseball, goodbye. Are they not going to play a baseball or softball game on Saturday because we're going to have a home football game? You can't park in the parking lot at the softball stadium because it's reserved for football, and same thing more Coliseum.
So basically what I hear from you is you say, screw it, I'm not only out for 2021, I'm out, period.
I'm to the point, yeah. Because I'm going to have to get a phone, and I don't have to do it. Then, after I buy the ticket, and we used to get 4. Now, if I want to give my ticket away, I have to go StubHub or something.
Now,
and they're going to charge me a fee. And you know good and well, Ron, that the university getting that.
So
if the university sells me the ticket, it's not the university property no more.
I got you.
It's my ticket.
So you don't have a smartphone?
No. It don't work down here. That's why I don't have a computer. I had a computer 3 years ago when they did all this crap. Hey, I was getting hacked. I mean, I got scared to open up my computer.
Listen, Tommy, let me say this. I got faith in you, okay? I got faith in you, okay?
Well, I'm glad you got faith.
No. Listen, if Red can work the smartphone, because he's talked about it, he doesn't even call it a smartphone. He calls it a dumb phone. If he can work the dumb phone, Tommy, you can work it. Maybe Red could do like lessons or something. He could. I mean, he could show you all about it. I mean, we could.
It's not about the phone.
I got faith in you.
I live. When you miss half your phone calls, 70% of it, why am I going to spend $60 a month for a phone that don't work? Like they was worried about me when I first got sick. Oh, you can't be left alone, Barbara. You can't ride a tractor. You can't do nothing. I said, well, I guess I better just go and die because I'm not sitting in the rocking chair and rock. Oh well. You can drive to Coker. Oh, well, if I can drive to Coker and call somebody for help, I can drive to DCH. I mean, that's how I look at the phone. They won't bring cable down here and nothing. I mean, it's just, I don't know why I'm in a black hole. I always make a joke, promise as hell, because we have nothing, except sunshine. And I was getting hacked all the time. I gave up all that crap trying. I was throwing money away.
I got you. I
miss my roadtide.com. I really do.
I got you. All right. Tommy, anything else, man?
Well, everybody shouldn't give up on Matt Jones.
But
don't make Bryce Young the Heisman Trophy winner before he takes a snap. Okay, don't put that pressure on that kid.
Well, he looks really, really good. He looks really, really good.
Oh, I know he does, but he's a second coming in Joe Namath, Richard Todd, too. Don't put that pressure. Let him be him. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that we're going to win 3 national championships with him. I'm like, really? We're on 1-1 with 2.
I got to run, Tommy. Thank you, man. I hope you have a great day, man. Hang in there.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Frustration continue. Let's go to Tony in Tuscaloosa. Tony, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually praying internally, thanking the Lord that I do not live in Romulus. Can you imagine?
Well, I will say this. I live in Coker, and I don't have very much better service.
It's like, I go up to, like, Franklin County, You know, where we got the guy in Red Bay. What's his name?
Joe in Red Bay.
Joe in Red Bay. You know what? That's that's a black hole, just like the Romulus or whatever going through. And I really like the caller for Romulus. I feel sorry for him. You know.
I mean,
can you imagine? What would you do without Twitter? You'd lose your mind.
Yeah, I would.
Crazy.
I'd have to get me. I'd have to get me one of them dumb phones.
Well, no, he says it doesn't work. He didn't say he didn't have a smartphone because he was anti-smartphone. He said he didn't have a smartphone because he couldn't get any internet connection or whatever on his phone to use a smartphone.
Well, and don't tell anybody, Tony, but where I live, I don't have cell phone service with my AT&T phone. Don't you laugh? Don't laugh. Don't make fun of me, okay? Okay,
I mean,
none of my neighbors do either. Okay, but what we do is we have a. Jed
shimmies up the telephone pole to answer the phone when it calls.
No,
right?
we have a 3G like microcell through the internet, but you got to have the internet to. You got to have the internet to.
Are you pedaling? Are you like getting on the bicycle and pedaling to get the energy up to make sure you can get the 3G?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to tell you. You want to go ahead and say, Tony, you were right again, and I was wrong again. And this time, it was not about the start of the season, and it's not about Georgia being the first game. And, I mean, you are the CNN and MSNBC of sports news, it seems like, coming on your streak lately. But ticket prices. You said it would be the easiest ticket ever, and I told you it'd be the most difficult ticket ever. What is it?
It looks like a disaster is what it looks like to me.
And let me tell you something. It's going to be the most expensive ticket to the worst game day experience in modern Alabama history. Can you imagine how awful it's going to be? You're there for the Georgia game. Oh, I'm so excited. Can't tailgate. No. Get the stadium. Can't get anything to eat. No. Yeah, got to have this vacuum seal bag. And then when you get in there, you're in your seat, and then 10 yards away, there's another fan. Hey, what's up? Roll Tide!
Oh, you're cracking me up. You're cracking me up. You're
gonna have to be doing smoke signals in there. Oh yeah, that's right. You can't smoke. So how are you going to communicate? Are you going to get like a little
like a megaphone?
Mirror?
Yeah.
You get like a mirror. You could. You know what? I will say this: you possibly could use the old school walkie-talkie with the two cans in a line.
It ain't gonna be this bad. I mean, you're exaggerating, okay? But I will say this: the prices is where I would be concerned.
20,000 people in a 100,000 seat stadium, a fifth full. It would be awful. Think about it. What kind of noise? Here it comes. They play the AC/DC, thunderstruck.
And a first down.
They come running out, and it's cricket. Woo! You got one person here, then 10 yards away, another person is shaking their shaker, another person's over there, and then one person's jumping up and down, and you know, you're going to have someone in that stadium say, "Sit down!
Get out of my way!
Sit down!" Oh my! This is. But I will say this. So I'm not whining. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, maybe it is.
But you can have the old person sitting down there and someone, about 20 yards away. Sit down!
Get out of my way!
That's right. With no student section.
But hold on,
at all.
hold on. Let me put my mask on. This is what it's going to sound like.
That's right. Run the ball!
Oh, this is going to be...
Hey, and there's not going to be any band.
This is going to be
no
too
band
crazy.
In the stadium to play the alma mater. There's no band to play the fight song. There's no band to do anything. What are they going to have when they're going to do the flag and they present they coming out there and do the national anthem? Are they going to be split like 10 yards apiece? The three people to come out onto the thing? This is going to be absolutely the worst game day experience in Alabama.
All right, so what would you
history.
do, Tony, if you're the guy? Would you
I
opt in?
cancel it. I wouldn't have anything. The only way you could be in that game would be in the zones or in a box. At least make it nice. At least if we're going to let you in the stadium, we're going to feed you hot dogs. We're going to feed you popcorn.
But you're not able to because you got prepackaged food. Prepackaged food. So you're going to have M&M's, Snickers bars.
Then I would end it. I would not have anybody go to that game. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, I do want to say one thing to Tommy. It's not Alabama athletics' fault. To blame the University of Alabama for this, you want to blame someone? Blame the Democrat Socialist Party.
Ooh.
You want to blame someone, blame them. This football season, 2020, brought to you by the socialists and the communists and their takeover of the country. Because that's what this is all about. I mean, even, Mike Griffith, is that right? Griffith or Griffith?
Yeah, Mike Griffith.
Okay. I'm not a big fan. Excellent call today because he called it like he knew. Like everyone's calling it. Anyone that's impartial knows it's political. Now, your attorney that called on Friday, right?
Yes, Paul Patterson.
And I didn't hear him. What did he say about liability?
He said it would just be hard with that process. That if you talk about the responsibility, the burden of proof, he said, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay. So I appreciate his sentiment on that. He couldn't be more wrong. Because you know how you know he's wrong? Because every school in every conference is scared to death of the liability part. Why do you think you're only going to have 20,000 fans at the University of Alabama football game? Why?
Because of liability.
That's it.
But don't you think they're going extreme, Tony? And I think that's what they're doing.
Look, they have an
and I got to run to break here because I'm up
attorneys.
against this way clock.
They have an army of attorneys, and their attorneys. And look, is it Sankey an attorney?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, sure he is. All your conferences. Anyway, I appreciate. Hey, look, this is a disaster. I would do the reboot, and if anyone that got to go to the game, they'd get free everything, and it'd be in the zone. Because it's going to be embarrassing to have 20,000 people in a 100,000 seat bowl.
Got to run, Tony. Be good, man.
Roll Tide. Right
back to you, Tony in Tuscaloosa. We got lines available if you want to jump in. 205-342-9904. 205-342-9904. Sark is talking. We'll listen. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss some of the things that he's talking about. We'll take your phone calls. If you want to jump into the game, 205-342-9904. 205-342-9904. Lines available right now. We'll continue with more Tide 100.9, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
O'Reilly. You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Tide 100.9 WTID-FM. The station in Tuscaloosa for ESPN Radio. Your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. You are listening to Alabama Tradition with Martin Houston and Ryan Fowler. Your connection to Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama athletics on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Well, I've heard those city singers singing about how they can love deeper than the oceans, higher than the stars above. Well, I come from the country and I know I ain't seen it all, I heard that ocean salty and the stars they
All right, you guys ready for
sometimes
the train to leave the station when we talk about hype?
justice to the way I feel for you.
You know, you got to remember, Sark stayed around here in Tuscaloosa without taking the job out on the West Coast. And let's back up just a couple seconds. When you look at Bryce Young, don't you think that had something to do with it? Don't you think Sark staying in Tuscaloosa had something to do with Bryce Young arriving here because of the relationship that those guys had been able to form with the ties back to Southern California? So Sark on Bryce Young, you ready? I have been really impressed. Although it's only been 2 practices, you see the natural passer in him. You see the feel for the game, end quote. That's Sark talking about Bryce Young, and we're going to work in that audio coming up in just a couple of seconds. We talk about Najee Harris. And Roman Harper even said this. He said Alabama kind of needs to get back to some of the basics on that side of the football. He also had some critical things to say about the defense, but let's focus on that. And even Sark talking about Najee Harris of trying to find a way to scheme him into the game plan. And I think you even some of the clips that they sent out yesterday, brief clips, you could see Najee Harris involved with the passing side of the ball. And I think that's one of those that you find a way to get him the football, find a way to get him 20 touches, find a way to get him as many touches as you could possibly get. And that's going to be, hey, it's going to be a lot of fun to see Najee Harris. You look at the atmosphere, you look at, even Sark saying that 10 games would be as close to the NFL schedule. Isn't this what we're looking for, though? And I know the ticket situation, it's going to be a mess. And scalpers, you guys are going to make tons and tons of cash because the ticket prices are going to be through the roof. But when you take a look and you step back for just a couple of minutes, isn't this is what we've always wanted? 10 conference games in the SEC. The level of difficulty, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be difficult to be able to manage this, but Alabama, if anybody can do it in the SEC, it's a very manageable schedule. You've got the Missouri guys. Easy. That's a win. Even though they don't even want to name their quarterback. They said earlier today, coming out of Columbia, well, let's let Alabama study all of our quarterback tendencies. It doesn't matter if you brought Joe Montana back there for a couple of minutes, okay? It's not going to matter. Doesn't matter who you start. You can start anybody. Texas A&M, winnable game here in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss on the road. Lane Kiffin, all that tweeting is good. Now you have to payday. All that smack talk with Nick Saban, hashtag, all the different things that you've put up against him and kind of made the opposition. Now is your chance. Now is your chance. Lane Kiffin, you're going to be bent over, and Nick Saban is going to spank you in front of your fans on that third week in October. Overall, second week in October. Georgia here. Now, see, this game to me is one of the very few that actually gets harder. When you look at Georgia, that fourth week, because I'd a whole lot rather have JT Daniels, Jamie Newman in the initial week or the initial couple of weeks rather than getting those guys later. And you just feel like that Georgia will be a different team 4 weeks in than they will be if it was the first week. The buzz early was that Georgia, Alabama may even kick off the season. That's not the case. Kirby Smart maybe getting some love and survival there. Tennessee and Knoxville. It's a winnable game. Jeremy Pruitt, we can all talk about the momentum that he was able to find in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Maybe a quarterback going rogue. But Tennessee's a game that you should win. Even when they were ranked in the top 10, Alabama went up there and smoked them. Nick Saban's not going to lose to Jeremy Pruitt up there. Mississippi State here, easy. You're fine. You got a quarterback, and maybe one of the better ones in this league, and that'll still be proven out. But Mike Leach can groom quarterbacks. Then the bye week. Trouble at LSU. Guys, have y'all seen any numbers coming out of Baton Rouge with 20-25%? See, these are games, it's just hard for me to look at LSU. That trip to Baton Rouge, you take the fans out of it, that's not going to be the same atmosphere.
We heard 50%, which I cannot.
LSU is 50%?
It's not official, but that's what we heard they want.
Oh, my heavens.
You can't do that.
Well, and if they do, Well, then that kind of flips it around. So was this just something on the buzz on the Twitter side of things? Oh my! I mean, it's like an epidemiology report without COVID-19. You bring in COVID and you bring into LSU. Anyway, that's some of the conversation that we'll get into. But LSU down there is not going to be as hard if it was 100,000 fans. Agree with me there, right? I mean, even if it's 50%, it's still not going to be the intimidating atmosphere. Part of the reason there is you can't hear. If you're sitting in the press box in Baton Rouge, the guy next to you, you cannot have a conversation with him. Mike Detillier and I sat a couple of years ago, side by side. We couldn't even talk during the game. We had to write notes. We had to literally write notes to talk more. I kid you not.
So this isn't a COVID thing. Wait, what is it then? Like what?
Because when you limit the capacity, it's not going to be as loud. The problem with Death Valley, it is so loud on the Saturday evening. It's the atmosphere. It's so loud that you can't communicate.
That's crazy.
It is, and people don't like when I say this. It's the best atmosphere when we talk about inside college football is Death Valley.
I can confirm this because you and I have been in Death Valley at the same time, but we didn't know it. 2012 and 2014, both of those games, at least one point, Fowler, I don't think we could hear each other think because they were so loud. Death Valley is a great atmosphere.
If you take that out, let's say you cut that down and you cut it by, because I still think 50%, there's no way they're getting 50%. But let's say if they do get 50%, it's still not going to be the same atmosphere. That place is rocking from the minute you arrive at the stadium to the minute you leave.
Ryan, I'm going to say something, and a lot of your callers are probably not going to like it. I don't even think Alabama's top 5 atmospheres in college football.
Okay. Well,
no.
Then who is then?
Well, definitely, this is in no order. I'm thinking Death Valley.
Okay.
Definitely Penn State whiteout game. Joe Will said that he's been to one of those.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Penn State.
I'm thinking USC. Are you kidding me?
The Coliseum is nice.
South Bend, Notre Dame.
And you don't think Bryant-Denny Stadium's in the top 5?
Okay, I have a major problem with the music that Alabama plays because it's not good music.
So you say it's like cheesy or something?
Yeah, it's so cheesy. None of the students like it. None of the other fans like it. I feel like if they improved the music at the stadium, it would be immensely better.
All right, well, we continue. We're going to get Sark into the audio. You can hammer Bryant. Bryant, what's your Twitter account, man? Where I want these Alabama fans. I want them to
Bryant_Horn, HORN.
Okay, I want them to eat you alive, man. I mean, Alabama's top 5. We're not number 1. LSU is number 1 by far. And if you want to say number 3, but we're top 5. Anyway, Sark's going to talk. We'll listen to some of that. We'll get into the conversation here as we'll go back to but then the Auburn game. See, the Auburn game here, it's the same thing. I mean, it's the atmosphere, whether it's top 5 or top 10. Regardless, it's Bryant-Denny Stadium, and the crowd's going to be 20%. I mean, you'll be able to hear Nick Saban down there screaming. I mean, think about that. I mean, you'll be able to hear him scream. You'll be able to hear Nick Saban down on the sidelines. So you got Auburn here, Arkansas on the road. It changes a lot with this crowd atmosphere. We'll listen to some of the Sark. We'll get Ellis in Manchester, Tennessee, in 3 minutes in Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
Let's go! O'Reilly!
You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's awesome. Have some fun. Have some fun, man. Talking Alabama Crimson Tide football on Alabama Tradition with Martin Houston and Ryan Fowler in Tuscaloosa on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Lazy yellow moon coming up tonight, shining through the trees. Crickets are singing and lightning bugs are floating on the breeze. Baby, get ready. Across the field where the creek turns back by the old stumble road, I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows. Baby, get ready.
All right, so a little Twang Tuesday here. Alabama tradition, past, present, future, the Alabama Crimson Tide. We got Sark Audio headed your way in just a couple of minutes. Why don't we go to Manchester, Tennessee? Ellis, good afternoon, sir. I hope you're having an awesome day.
I would not opt into that ticket buying crap.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'd tell them.
And it's nothing against Alabama. It's just everything that they're required to do, it's hard to pull off.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Like the mask thing is not them. That's SEC guidelines.
That done it for me right there, because I'm not going to wear a mask.
Well, and this is something we haven't really talked about. It's still going to be hot inside Bryant-Denny Stadium on September the 26th.
Yeah.
4 hours with a mask is not fun.
And awful. No tailgate.
Are they going to let the $1 Million Band come in? I mean, are they going to let that?
I doubt it. They'll probably have them on the intercom system blaring.
It's going to be.
Even I'm going to watch it, but it's going to be hard to watch.
Oh, sure,
man.
sure. And it's just going to be.
It's just not. It's just going to be too. It's going to be just awkward, very awkward to watch it. It's very strange. Just I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and that's, ever since you announced 20% capacity, I go, it's going to be strange.
What did you think about
and
the schedule?
And where are they going to put that 20%?
Well, I mean, they're going to scatter it out, right?
Yeah, but what if it's the ones that's got tickets, that's always had tickets, are they going to be able to get to sit in the same place that they always have, or are they going to be put somewhere else?
I mean, I think you'll have to spread it out. You'll have to. I mean, I don't think
so
you're.
You mean the ones that pay top dollar for awesome seats is going to be stuck somewhere?
No. I mean, you've got a certain premium seats, but I mean, as I'm reading this ticket form, this is, it's. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be guaranteed a particular section. You're not going to be guaranteed your seats if that's what you're asking.
Awful.
I mean, you heard what Tommy's been a season ticket holder. He's talked about it, the number of years that he's been a season ticket holder. He said, really, I'm done. I'm done. And I think, unfortunately, if I was Greg Byrne, this would be my biggest concern, Ellis. It's not about 2020.
Yeah,
okay, 2020 is going to be a disaster. It's going to be a cluster. It's going to be a mess. It's Ellis, can I get you back next year? Ellis, if you don't come to games and you realize that you can watch it in front of your 70-inch LED television, can I get Ellis back next year? Don't know.
You don't know.
And will that demand still be there that I get $3,000 a donation for tickets? Because, see, everything survives off the market, man. Supply and demand. If the supply's not there, or excuse me, the demand's not there, but the supply is, that value will go down.
It's awful. In both ways. You got the fans being screwed out of stuff, and then the university losing millions and millions of dollars. So they're both getting screwed. Either way. But the fans, the poor fans, the ones that look forward to this, not this year.
Yeah, it would be, but it's going to be crazy to get a ticket. I mean, but there's really no way. Listen, the ticket office, I don't really know how they could have done it to make it any better. I mean, their hands are tied. So in a lot of ways, you kind of, you have empathy for those guys. I mean,
I'm like you, what you said earlier. I'd hate to be one of those people at the ticket office.
Well, I mean, and Ellis, we're small money, okay? We're peanuts, okay? But how would you like to call the guy that's sitting in a skybox or the end zone tickets and say, hey, I know you gave a lot of money, but you're not going to be able to get those tickets. You're not. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's a crazy.
It's awful.
It's a crazy year.
It's awful, and it's just awful all the way around. I always look forward to going down there every year, Ryan, and I do.
I mean, no tailgating. No tailgating on the campus of the University of Alabama.
And this is going to be the first time in years, and I'm talking about years, that I've not went to a ball game.
Have you ever been to a fan day?
One time.
That's what it's going to be like. Unfortunately, that's what it'll be like. It'll be, and there's really nothing they can do. I mean, if Greg Burns said, "You know what, I'm going to do this," he's not able to. I mean, in a lot of ways, his hands are tied.
His hands are tied. That's right. So, he has to go by the rules. But I did get another person hooked up with the free out yesterday. Helped him download it on his phone where he could listen to you.
Well, good. Thank you.
You got a new listener. Because I was listening to it, and he goes, "What are you listening to?" I go, "I listen to this show every day, and they talk Alabama football." And he had to have it. I got to have that.
Tell him to screenshot his phone and put it in the Orca cooler that we're going to be drawing out here in just a couple of days. So, Ellis, I got to run, brother. I appreciate you, man.
All right, but yeah, maybe next year, Ryan. But I'm gonna miss it. Get to go tailgate and everything. But roll tide, and we'll talk to you later.
Hey, thank you. It is Ellis, Manchester, Tennessee. We'll come back. We're going to listen to Sark audio coming up in just a couple of minutes right here on the game. T-Town Tide 100.9, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
O'Reilly. You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Partly to mostly sunny this afternoon. A small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 93, tonight's low 69. For tomorrow, partially sunny, a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms by afternoon. The high at 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9.
The host of the game, Ryan Fowler, and the host of the Martin Houston Show, Martin Houston, have combined to offer a show filled with in-depth analysis of Alabama football and more. Alabama Tradition broadcasts live on Tide 100.9 every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. and is available live and on playback on numerous affiliates around the Southeast. Check out alabamatradition.com for a list of affiliates, as well as other great content.
Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning.
All right, so let's go listen to a little bit of this Sark audio. The offensive coordinator, the highest paid assistant coach in all of college football. Sark had a chance to talk a couple of minutes following practice. Let's listen to a few minutes of this. We'll kind of get the some conversation going, and then I'll take Robert from Iowa. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a few minutes here with Sark as he presents one of the very few conversations that we get to talk with the assistant coaches. Listen here for a couple of minutes, and we'll get to Robert from Iowa.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'd just like to say how excited I am to be back. You know, how great it is to be back on the field with our guys. We obviously have a very talented roster, one of which that is working extremely hard and wants to be champions. We've got a great staff. It's awesome to be back with our entire offensive staff and the continuity we have there. And obviously being back with Coach Saban, his drive and motivation pushes all of us. So, like I said, it's great to be back on the field. It's only been 2 days, but so far so good, and love the work ethic that we're seeing so far from the guys.
Okay, with that, we'll start with Brett Hudson.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious what having an experienced offensive line does for you as a play caller. Like, how does that open up possibilities for you to know exactly what you're getting out of that group?
Well, I mean, we obviously have an abundance of experience up front. When you start talking about Deontay Brown, Landon Dickerson, Alex Leatherwood, Chris Owens, Evan Neal, those guys have played a lot of football. And I think one of the things that comes out of it is the communication factor. Those guys can communicate really well with one another up front. I think, too, their communication to us as coaches, they've seen a lot of football. They know some of the issues the defense is presenting, and so making the proper adjustments that way. And then thirdly, I think from a game plan standpoint, I think, you know, when you have a veteran group, you know, you can do some subtle tweaks. You can do some things with those guys that maybe you couldn't do with a younger group, just from an inexperienced standpoint. So all in all, these guys are battle tested. They've been in a lot of big games. They've competed against the best opponents. So we got a lot of faith in them, and we're fortunate. I know, you know, I've been in seasons where we haven't had such a veteran offensive line. So with this group of guys, you know, we're looking forward to those guys being the bell cows in the run game and the pass game, and from a leadership standpoint offensively.
Sorry about that. I just had to unmute there. You had a little bit of a health scare this summer. Just that came out with a statement about the surgery. Just what was the story behind that, and what might be important about fans to know about early detection on that issue?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think first and foremost, it's one of the values of being at University of Alabama. You know, we do an extensive executive physical, and Coach Saban is the one that really promotes that. And, you know, for me, going and doing the physical, you think, you know, being 46 years old, it's kind of ho-hum. You go do all the tests. And they detected something in my heart. Through further tests, recognized that, hey, we might have to do even further tests. And we did that. And, you know, they had to have surgery. And I think for the most part, you know, Dr. Richardson was fantastic, who I dealt with. You know, I think what comes out of it is we never know how healthy, how sick. We can feel great. I felt great. And at the end of the day, I had to have open heart surgery. And, you know, you just try to surround yourself with the best people. You take advice. Coming out of that surgery, I've just tried to follow the protocol A from my doctor, and what I needed to do is the steps. This week is going to be 8 weeks out on Thursday. And then the protocols here at the university. I don't know if there's anybody that kind of abides by the COVID rules that we have here more than me. But I think all in all, I feel great. I feel healthy. It allowed me to lose some weight, so I feel good about that. A little lighter on my feet at practice. But all in all, very fortunate that I had that physical. Very fortunate I had a great doctor to do the surgery and all the people surrounding me. And at the end of the day, you know, life goes on. I feel very good.
All right, so that's Sark following practice on the campus of the University of Alabama. We'll have more of that on Tide109.com, 109.com as we'll continue. And I know the guys tomorrow morning, whether it's Martin Houston, Wimpin Berry, Gary Harris from 9 until 11, Travis Ryer, Jay Barker, Lars Anderson. I know we'll dissect that. That's only just a few minutes. We were able to play just a few minutes. I want to squeeze in our buddy here, Robert from Waterloo, Iowa. Robert, good afternoon, man. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Me too. I hope all is well for you too. You are on with me and Captain Dak. You know my friend Captain Dak?
Yeah, the guy that you called in the other day with.
Yeah, you are on the line with my friend.
Well, very, very cool, man. Good to talk with you.
Yeah.
You too,
So-
Rhino.
So what are
Ryan.
you guys doing? Are you guys partying? I mean, what are y'all doing, Robert?
Well, my friend called me, and I invite him to talk to you if that's okay.
I got you. Well, it is okay. It is okay, and it's good to talk with you, man. We're ready for football. I see where you guys are, a little fired up there in Iowa.
Yeah, we're fired up in Iowa. I'm fired up, man. You better recognize. Your strainer better recognize too. Hey.
Now, did he not recognize that this is the Smack Talk champion of the world, Tommy Paradise? I cannot believe this.
I'm going to be straight honest with you. I hear so many voices, Robert, and I thought he was somebody completely different. That is 100% on me, though. I take full responsibility for screwing that up.
Absolutely.
My name is not Wayne.
His name is Robert.
Yeah, but when I call your studio, your strainer told me, hello, Wayne. My name not Wayne.
His name is Robert, the Smack Talk champion of the world.
Yeah, buddy. Hey,
he better recognize. Well, listen, I tell you what I'm going to do, Robert. I'm gonna cut his tires. To be honest with you, I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna cut his tires.
Oh, come on.
No, I am. I mean, just for you, but for him calling you the wrong name, I'm gonna cut his tires, man. I'm gonna slash them real good, just for you.
Targeting the defensive player, number 12. Number 12 is disqualified.
Well, you have way too much fun.
Hey, I want to say to Alabama. I heard on the internet about they going to play Dane.
One more time, Robert, please.
I heard from the internet they going to play Alabama. Going to play Dane.
Yeah, 10 games. They're going to start with Missouri, which is not too far. Texas A&M, Ole Miss here, Georgia here, Ole Miss on the road, Tennessee on the road, Mississippi State here, LSU on the road, Kentucky here, Auburn here, and then Arkansas on the road. Missouri on the road, yes, sir. First game, 40 days away, brought to you by Alabama Credit Union.
I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait.
Well, give me a big roll tide. I got to get out of here, man. I got literally seconds away. Give me a big roll tide, Robert.
Roll tide, brother. I love you.
We love you too, Robert. Thank you, man. I hope you have an awesome day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Rhino.
All right, see you, Captain Jack. Captain Jack and Robert checking in. Man, that guy always makes my day. That's a great way to end the show. Big thanks to Joe, wherever he may be. Tab, wherever you may be. I'm looking at Brian. Tommy Paradise, I won't cut your tires. I'm going to give you a mulligan. We thank our law enforcement officers, EMTs, highway patrols. We couldn't do it without you guys. We remind you that we call this program The Game. The only way that you win the big game, the game of life, is to walk daily with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Good night, T-Town.
People thinking that's a mighty keen. Son, let me tell you now exactly what I mean. I thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, I got cakes on a griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny, funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Yeah.
O'Reilly.
You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.